Termites! Welcome to episode 78. How exciting is that?
Very exciting.
What am I going to do on 100? I should do something. Maybe I'll buy something new for the desk.
Oh, great.
Celebratory thing. Well, I didn't go anywhere this week, Termites. I wasn't on the road because I was supposed to be filming a special in Denver, and then we moved it to June the 4th. Just because you had to make up your mind a long time ago and nobody knew what was going on with COVID. And I was like, I don't want to, drag a whole bunch of people out there and then people get sick and all that. So June 4th, Denver, if you already have those tickets, just keep them. And I don't know, there might be some left for the late show. We're doing 2 shows that night.
Yeah.
So there you go. And I put up a video, a little constructive work I did this week, little video, because added some shows. New York City has been added. Nice. Council Bluffs, Iowa has been added. I'm going to be at Town Hall in New York City. Because a lot of termites always say, why don't you ever come into the city? And I do. Mm-hmm. But it's just been a while because of COVID. That's what I like to blame on everything. Well, it's a COVID thing. COVID's been the most wonderful procrastinator's excuse ever. Yeah, I was going to get all that done, but, the COVID thing. Boom. I did Tig's podcast this week, though. That was fun. I don't know when that'll air. It was nice to... I haven't seen Tig in a while. Nice to talk to her. She was in a very good mood. Very fun.
Don't Ask Tig.
Don't Ask Tig is the name of it. Yeah. She just does silly advice and stuff. It's fun. What am I drinking? Many things, termites. This is a Bloody Mary, because right now it's a Sunday. It doesn't seem like a Sunday, but it is. Because you'll hear this on Tuesday. Well, it's a Sunday morning Bloody Mary.
Oh.
Yeah.
What makes that special?
Because I usually don't have Bloody Marys during the week. I usually wait till the weekend. If I have one at all, it would be on a Sunday. With the Old Bay delicious Bloody Mary mix. Nice. I don't even know if this is still on their website, but that's where I got it from. And then I'm pretending like I'm in Wisconsin and having a beer back that is free half the time in Wisconsin. It's such a wonderful place. They give you a beer back if you get a Bloody Mary. And what I'm drinking is the brand new Bud Light product, Next. 0 carb beer. But here's what I will say about it. It tastes more like a seltzer. So if you're going to get it, know that it's going to taste more like a seltzer than a beer, and it tastes like a beer-flavored seltzer.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. I'm more of a beer person. I mean, just in general, but it has 0 carbs, 80 calories, and 4% alcohol.
Good for summer.
Yeah, it's a summer delicious idea, and it's hard to find. And it's going to be super hard to find by my house because I bought 4 cases of it. Well, because I wanted to give it away and have my friends try it and see what they think and all that. So we'll put this just aside over here. Cool. That's what we're drinking, termites. What are we eating? Well, a termite from Pennsylvania. She sent me a bunch, but I just took out the ones that are my favorites. This is from Kim. They're called Wise Potato Chips. I've never heard of them. She saw me in Pittsburgh. She likes the Pubcast. Thank you. Let's try Wise. Lay's are my favorite, but I'm always willing. It's a little loud. Sorry.
God.
Sorry.
So
sorry.
loud.
This is the original.
You're not sorry.
Oh, wow. They're really good.
Nice.
They kind of taste like Lay's, but harder. Mm-hmm. A+. I mean, let's taste the salt and vinegar. Because if I'm going away from regular flavor, that's always where I'm going.
That creme flame, come on.
It's very loud.
Yeah.
I know. Just wonderful.
Really?
Yep.
What are those?
These are from Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Wise.
Salt and vinegar?
Salt and vinegar. Mm-hmm. I'd never heard of them. Now every gas station I stop in Pennsylvania, I'm going to be looking for these things. I know.
Delicious.
Anyway, so that was good. These are out for the children, or my dad. The Oreo, it's their 110th birthday.
Really?
I know, right?
Wow.
That's really old. I didn't know Oreos were around that long. And then the Oreos are supposed to taste like a birthday cake.
I like the packaging.
The packaging is pretty fabulous. Very fancy. It'll make the children happy.
You gotta describe the packaging.
Well,
Cool.
it's multicolored. Looks like a tie-dye rainbow.
That's such a Libra. No?
It's for the children. Yeah, I can't. No. I don't like sweets like that, really, though. This is why it's the work of the Lord. I would not do that on my own.
What were you expecting? A salt and vinegar Oreo?
This is sweeter than a normal Oreo. Yeah, I wasn't expecting all that. And then 2 more things. I've never heard of Cains Mayonnaise in my life. How did I make it to this age and never? And I've traveled the whole goddamn country over and over and over. But my friend and fellow comedian Kelly McFarland brought this down when we did the Durham show in the Charlotte. It's a New England mayonnaise. Yeah, and they say it's like just for them. So we'll see. It looks like Duke's.
Okay.
I don't know if you can beat Duke's though. Very tangy.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like a mix of if you mix Miracle Whip and mayonnaise, which I do for my dip.
Nice.
I like it.
Cool.
Be really good for deviled eggs too.
Everything is good for them.
Well, just saying. And then I bought this because it made me laugh. Now that we know Catalina and French dressing are no longer restricted.
I've never had Catalina.
No?
No.
It tastes like French, but it's been so long since I had it.
What's the difference?
My mom likes it. I don't remember. I'd have to get French and eat it next to this. I just always thought it was gross.
The color is nasty.
The color's weird. Yeah. Just Catalina. Is that like the island we're talking about? Like, oh, let's go to Catalina. It's so sweet.
Really?
That's why my mom likes it. She's a sweet monster. Yeah, it. I don't know. It tastes like candy.
Yeah.
It's too sweet. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I still didn't like it. And I'm doing the work of the Lord for you people. Now you don't have to ever taste like Catalina in your life.
They make it look like there's peppers in it.
And there's no peppers in here.
No.
I don't think so.
Sugar.
Just sugar and food coloring.
Okay.
Wow, do you hear that motorcycle?
Yeah.
That was weird. Wow. I also
Would it
heard...
be weird if I said no?
Well, yeah. I also woke up to a cat meowing that I swore was in this house and got up to look for it. No cat.
No?
Nope.
If you got a cat ghost.
It's a cat ghost. It was loud. It was like, and I was like, what? I sprung out of bed. Like, it woke me up.
Wow.
And then I thought, shit, did I leave something open and one of those guys is stuck in here and then they don't know how to get out? And nope, just crazy. Just plain ass crazy. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's move on. Termites. We've got news about the queens. Stevie. Stevie, who every time she trends on TV, on Twitter, I'm nervous that she's dead or something, and it's always just people are like, "Isn't this picture really cool? Is Stevie next?" Like, I mean, it's nice, but don't alarm people. Stevie, Stevie will be performing at the brand new Sound on Sound festival, which is in Connecticut.
Okay.
They are the ones, a new music festival to the East Coast in September. They've announced the inaugural Sound on Sound, no relation to Austin Fest, the same name that was canceled in 2017. This will be happening in Bridgeport, Connecticut, at Seaside Park, September 24th and 25th. Here's who's going to be there. If you're up that way, kids, Stevie, Dave Matthews. Why does it say Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds? Who's that?
He's one of his band members.
Oh.
From,
He's a band member?
yeah,
Okay.
the Dave Matthews Band.
The Lumineers,
Love them.
The National, Father John Misty, Ziggy Marley, Gary Clark Jr.
Dory loves him.
I like Gary Clark Jr. Black Pumas, never heard of them. I like the name. Mm-hmm. The Head and the Heart, nope. Band of Horses, The Spin Doctors. Oh, how throwback. And a bunch more, but Stevie's and Dave Matthews and the Lumineers are the main headliners. So there you go, people. Tanya, too. Where's Tanya? The shorties dominate the news this week, Stevie and Dolly. But Tanya's added a bunch of new dates. One of them's going to be she's going to be the Ryman, but it's Masters Sunday.
Oh, no. Are you going to go?
I think I can go to both. Yeah, I think I can watch, not to the Masters, but I think I can watch the Masters and still make it downtown to the Ryman. We shall see. She's celebrating 50 years of Delta Dawn.
Who shouldn't? Everybody.
Exactly. She sang that song when she was 4. And she's had a wonderful career based on that. Also, doing the work of the Lord, Dolly Parton is trying to get Taco Bell to bring back their Mexican pizza. Now, this is the kind of fight we need. Yes. We need a leader with a goal. I liked the Mexican pizza. I usually always go back to 2 tacos and Diet Coke. But if I was to go off the farm, it would have been the Mexican pizza. It was
great texture.
Yeah. Her latest deed really had us swimming. She didn't even mean to do it. In an interview with Insider for the release of her new Duncan Hines cake mix, the reporter took things off script and asked Dolly a little-known love of hers about her little-known love Taco Bell. When asked her favorite order, Dolly revealed she's partial to soft-shell tacos. Me too! Because they stand up better to life on the road than their hard-shell counterparts because they, quote, fall apart so bad. Exactly. You can't eat it in the car. Or, yeah, it's bad. So I always get a Taco Supreme with the sour cream and all that in the soft shell. I love it. And I get an order of rice and beans. And I get mild sauce. I don't like it to get too hot and ruin everything. I'm a hot sauce person.
Okay.
The mild just seems like I didn't do anything. And the fire is too, even though I love fire, it's too hot. It does cover up the taste. After rattling off her order, everyone thought she was done with the topic, but she kept talking about Taco Bell and what's likely history's most talked about hot button fast food topic, the Mexican pizza. They used to make, and I think they still do, one of the restaurants, they make a little tiny Mexican pizza, which is also so good. Unbeknownst to Dolly, that favorite menu item was cut from Taco Bell in September 2020, sparking widespread outrage and a Change.org petition with 170,000 signatures. I think you could have gotten more. I didn't know this existed. I would have signed it. More than a year later, the beloved mashup is still absent from Taco Bell's menus, but if Dolly has anything to say about it, that could change soon. I think they should. She first declared her love for the Mexican pizza in 2016 while joining Andy Cohen on Sirius XM Radio. She revealed that Taco Bell is a go-to date night spot for her and her husband more than 50 years, Carl Dean. So, there you have it. Maybe if Dolly demands it, enough people.
Well, you did help get a COVID vaccine.
Well, she did. She does so many nice things. But all through COVID, Taco Bell was missing all kinds of things. I don't know if they're caught back up. Maybe they didn't have the stuff for a Mexican pizza. Supply chain issues. Yeah, that's another good thing to blame things on. Yeah. People can't say anything. Oh, so did you get your thing and your thing? No, it's a supply chain deal. It's, yeah, I forgot to mail that out. Okay, update. I don't have many updates this week, so enjoy the ones we have. Remember the mayor in Ohio that said he thought ice fishing was going to lead to prostitution, which I think was just his fantasy. He was hoping it would, probably. He has resigned, and he blames the community for negative headlines. Yeah, well, you said it, Jack Straw. God damn, people are just unbelievable. After making the very most of his role as a part-time ceremonial figurehead with no real authority or power by launching Hudson into not one but 2 embarrassing national headlines, the embattled Mayor Craig Schubert today resigned from his role. Since the passing of my first wife, I've given considerable thought to the next stage of my life. Retirement is on the near horizon. With the recent changes on City Council, where 6 of 7 seats have turned over, City Hall is entering a new era. My role as a change agent is complete. Hudson had a stronger financial and economic base than ever before, and major road improvements are being completed. I have therefore decided to step down as mayor and will clear a new path forward. He also attempted to explain the recent ice fishing prostitution incident, but ended up shouldering the responsibility not on himself, but on the fine residents of Hudson. So he gets one parting shot as he's leaving. He said, my comments at Tuesday's workshop were made out of the concern for the community, what would become unintended consequences of new legislation based on my prior television news reporting experience. My attempt to inject a bit of dry humor and make a point about this in the midst of a cold, snowy February was grossly misunderstood. Some in our community saw this as an opportunity to engage in the politics of personal destruction by means of character assassination, blaming me for the negative international press they helped to promote.
Oh my God.
Go to your night-night, Craig. Go to your night-night. Yeah,
Craig.
Go take your crazy. He said other really whacked out things. I couldn't find them though, but they're out there. If you really are that interested in finding out, some fucking ice fishing prostitution. Come on now. I would have said, if you want to be crazy, you could make meth in those things. Prostitution would not have entered my mind. Cooking drugs might. This is a crazy little update.
Tiny update?
Update? It's a tiny update. Meta.
Oh, no.
My boyfriend Zuckerberg. Meta agrees to pay $90 million to settle lawsuit over Facebook tracking users' online activity. Yeah. $90 million to settle a decade-old class action lawsuit over a practice that allowed the social network to track users' activity across the internet, even if they had logged out of the platform.
Really?
He's a sneaky little bastard. Yeah.
He's a dick.
Well, and have you ever tried to quit Facebook?
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad.
No, it's like having a psycho boyfriend that you have to change your phones every other week and he's still calling. Like, who new phone, who dis? You cannot quit Facebook because they won't let you. And then every week it'll come back up. Are you sure you want to quit? And they will not have taken it down.
Right.
I don't think a lot of people, it takes months to get it gone. I mean, I still have my one for work and clearly he doesn't listen to this podcast or he would have kicked me off long ago. I would have kicked me off if I was him. The settlement announced on Tuesday is one of the largest of in the history of the social media company, but it's unlikely to impact the bottom line of the $590 billion internet giant. If approved, the agreement will also rank among the 10 largest data privacy class action suits in the United States. Yeah. I mean, just a little $90 million out of his pocket, and his users were down in the last reporting, so it's not all good times. No. Somebody did a really good article too on how when the platforms start to fail, like how did MySpace fail, and then what happened when it started failing. Like they tried to change their name too. I think they definitely changed the look of the page. And then I remember there's a comedy festival in Montreal, and there was a lady. This was like 4 years after MySpace collapsed, and she was telling all of us that MySpace was going to make a comeback. And I remember she gave me free pencils. I don't know why she thought I would need those. And a t-shirt, a free t-shirt. And they were trying to get comedians and bands and stuff to sign up for the new MySpace.
And MySpace, it was capital M-Y and then capital S.
Oh, capital M.
They rebranded it with all lowercase.
Oh, wow. It didn't work.
Same name.
No. So, but just the fact that he's changed Facebook to Meta, right. We could be seeing some cracks in the foundation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Little tiny cracks. That's all my updates. It's a slow update week, but it's a holy shit, they found it. I got quite a few of these.
Nice.
Good ones, too.
How's your beer?
The beer's fine. The Bloody Mary's better. Archaeologists discovered the childhood home of Jesus.
Really?
Yep. Oh. There's so much shit I didn't know. Like, I don't know what site this is. It's an archaeological one, yeah. Anyway, history from biblical times is considered to be the most interesting within this subject due to tales from the Bible. To some, scriptures presented within the Bible are tales, but for Christianity, they have been leading the lifestyles of billions for the past 2,000 years. Just as mentioned in the Bible, we knew that Jesus was born in Nazareth. I never heard of that.
No.
Wasn't he?
Nazareth.
Wasn't he born in Nazareth?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a typo. But the exact location was not specified. With time, our planet has changed significantly, making it difficult to find places from 2 millennia ago. Many of them have crumbled to the test of time, but it seems some are standing strong, buried in dirt and waiting to be unveiled. Yes! Ken Dark, an archaeologist from the University of Reading, has recently discovered Jesus' child home in Nazareth. Okay, so that was just a typo. Or I don't know. Z-A, maybe that's the county?
I don't think they have
County? Why not? Well, the state or the province or whatever. He's published a book, this guy, The Sisters of Nazareth Convent, a Roman period Byzantine and Crusader site in central Nazareth, which he explains in his findings. Interestingly enough, the home was actually discovered many years ago in 1881 by a group of nuns who at the time were building the Sisters of Nazareth Convent. The only problem was that the sisters didn't know what they'd stumbled upon when digging a cistern for their convent. Despite not having much archaeological knowledge, the nuns did a good job to uncover the site and salvage what was left behind. The site hadn't been touched until the mid-century when a Jesuit priest went to explore Nazareth in search of the home of Jesus. The books that have been made by the priests have been vital to Dark's discovery. Within the first century of death, the home had been turned into quite a few different things, and then it goes through all the crazy things it's been through. But they don't tell you, like, can you go? Can we go there?
I don't know.
I mean, they say this is the house where he was raised. I don't know. So there you go. Found that. We also found, holy shit, they found it in Norway, one of the largest known Norse longhouses discovered near a Viking burial ship. This is why I want to go to Norway, because I loved how American hacky is this. Because I love the show Vikings.
So good.
And I've always wanted to go because I do like the Viking stuff, and there's so much stuff there. They have discovered the remains of a cluster of Norse longhouses, including one of the largest structures ever found. The investigations at a farmland in, I can't say that city. No.
Nope.
I'll call it Jellystad. That's definitely wrong.
Jellystad.
Well, Gjellestad. In southern Norway, about 50 miles southeast of Oslo, have revealed the underground remains of at least 5 longhouses.
Oh, wow.
How awesome is that?
Very cool.
The buildings were about 1,640 feet northeast of a Viking ship burial discovered in 2018 with radar scans. See, now that they can get down there with the radar, it's really up in the ante of the stuff we're going to start finding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The digital radar is really good. They think it was the biggest one was a hall building that was used for religious or social or political purposes and not for human or animal occupation. So it's basically a party venue.
Right.
Yeah. Then they tell you about the ship. So and then I think if you go to Norway, you can go like tour all this stuff.
That's really
How great is that, right? Now here's another one from the same site. And I believe this site, but then when I read this stuff, I don't understand. Archaeologists found the location where Jesus walked on water.
Okay.
First of all, I don't know how you could know. It's water. You can't. Do you go over by that wave?
Right.
Like, see where the waves are breaking? He did it right there. Anyway,
Right there.
archaeologists have always questioned the events from the Bible in their search to find hard evidence of locations where those major events occurred. Within the New Testament, there are many mentions of Jesus performing various miracles to do good, but also to prove to the world he's the Son of God. Well, he did. I mean, if the things they say he did, they're pretty impressive. These are really good party tricks, if nothing else. Within the New Testament, there's a mention of a town called Bethesda, found next to the Sea of Galilee. Huh?
Sure.
Yeah, it's by the Sea of Galilee.
Okay.
Recent excavations revealed that the settlement of Bethesda was founded in the 10th century during the biblical period. This follows the sort of details that are presented within the Bible. Based on the Bible, Jesus was born around 4 BC, and later in his life, he traveled to this town to restore the sight of a blind man who lived near the Sea of Galilee.
Hang on. How was he born in 4 BC?
I don't know, because I always thought BC meant before Christ. I Googled it. It does mean before Christ. I don't know.
He was born 4 years after
Himself. I didn't understand that either. I wanted to see if you'd catch it.
Nope.
You caught it. Good job, Battles.
Funny math.
Just see if you're paying attention.
Thank you.
After Jesus performed a miracle, he multiplied 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes to make enough to feed 5,000 people in the middle of the desert. He wanted to spend some time alone and pray. It's a lot of pressure. I could say, yeah, I'm going to take a little time out. Therefore, he told his disciples to get on a boat and travel to the other side of the Sea of Galilee. Near the end of the disciples' journey, a dangerous storm overtakes the boat, and they start wondering where God is to save their lives. Boom! This is where Jesus comes in with the help of disciples walking on water, and once Jesus had climbed upon the boat, the storm suddenly stopped. When the disciples saw Jesus walking on water, they were truly convinced he was the Son of God. This is a sort of turning point within biblical history, as at that moment and through this miracle did Jesus gain 100% trust from his disciples. Well, it'd be weird if you left your wife and kids to go follow this guy and you're only 50-50 on him. Right. You know, he could be the son of God, but I'm going to need to see something super duper fantastic. Yeah, I would need to be 100 before I just drop everything. We now know that this happened on the Sea of Galilee, somewhere near Bethesda, but the exact location of where Bethesda or where the lake in which the miracle was performed still remains a mystery until now. Okay. Boom. Recently, 2 archaeological sites located about 1.2 miles apart. They're called, I can't say the names. They're considering the leading candidates, but archaeologists don't agree on which site is the biblical city. So really, they've narrowed it down to 2 places, and hopefully this website will let me know when they've decided exactly where it was. And I'd like to know how big is the lake, how deep is the lake. Okay. Not finding that kind of information in these stories.
And you know that it's science.
Because I do believe, like, the Bible stories that have truth to them, I don't think they're all 100% detailed. Yeah. Okay. Like, they've proved where the tide goes out, where Moses, did he really part the sea, or did just the tide go out at that time? You know, they both could be true, I suppose. So, I don't know. Not a good thing. Here's something you don't want to happen to yourself. Ready for this one? Yep. 8.5 foot long black mamba slithered into a guy's front room while he watched TV. What? In South Africa. Oh. Yep. Highly venomous 8.5 foot black mamba slithered into a lounge in South Africa while a man was sitting there watching TV. They're a highly venomous snake native to Africa. They have a potent venom and one of the most deadliest snakes in Africa. Bite has a fatality rate of 100% left if untreated. In a Facebook post, snake catcher Nick Evans, who provides snake removal services, oh God, he was called to deal with the snake at the house in the greater Durban area. He assumed the call was about a house snake, but instead he found an 8.5 foot long, highly venomous black mamba curled up next to the TV behind some boards.
Oh my God.
They can grow up to 14 feet long. The man had been sitting down after watching TV after a long day of work when the huge snake slithered through the door next to him. Evans said, I could only imagine his reaction. The mamba did not lash out and attack the man. It just went about its business, according to this guy. Then there's a picture of him holding it like, They're shy and they usually avoid humans, except this one who decided to just go right on in and watch TV. Totally. He says, don't kill them. If you see one, as they only tend to bite if threatened or scared. It's a quick and easy catch. The mamba was released into a safer environment away from people. This guy, the snake catcher, found it very rewarding. I'm sure he did. Oh, wow. They're usually found in properties bordering valleys or nature reserves, which are the perfect habitat for this snake. Evans said he has found them in nearly every room, in homes, gardens, sheds, ceilings, living rooms, bathrooms, bedrooms. Piles of mud, we don't need to know because we're not in Africa, but that's a little thing. And then another super freaky thing, you're going to have to go look at this because I still don't understand it. Okay. There's a lake in China, northeastern China. China. As Trumpy would say it, China. Sometimes I miss him. Frozen bubble formations under a lake in northeastern China. They're like this. They're like as big as a basketball, and they're perfect round balls underneath the frozen top, but you can see them all. Yeah, it's so freaky. It's also freaky when we start making up new words. There was some word about the storm that's hitting England, like a brand new, like the weather's getting so weird we don't have names for it yet. Right. It's like when they say, not tornadic, bomb cyclones. Like they keep coming up with, because they don't know what else to call this shit. Right. Tourist in Townan City, Jilin Province, walked over the speckled surface on February 11th to take a closer look at the bizarre pearl-like spheres. They appeared like candy floss or balls or rice. Similar incidents have occurred in lakes in northern China in previous winters. The phenomenon is believed to be caused when methane from decaying organic matter underwater freezes due to cold temperature. The white orbs resembled tangwen, glutinous rice balls that are usually made during the Lantern Festival that marks the end of the Lunar New Year. Their round shape is believed auspicious as circles symbolize harmony and balance in the Chinese culture.
Of course it does.
Wow. Well, it's not working in the Ukraine. No. I don't know who's praying for world peace, but it's not working.
No, there's not a lot of balance.
I think Vladdy did. I think he thought Biden would give in to him, and he didn't. Now he's stuck. What do you do? Do you go home with egg on your face?
True.
Vladdy's getting too old. Speaking of China, as Trumpy would say, China. This story makes me laugh only because I now know how little Nikki Haley knows about the children. Now, there's a little girl, the United States-born skier Eileen Gu. She was all the hit at the Olympics, right? She's absolutely adorable. But her mom's Chinese, her dad's American. We've never seen the dad. We've only seen the mom. And when she was 15, she committed to skate to snowboard or one of her events with China.
Okay.
China. And I'm going to read you the story, but I'm not taking sides here on which country she should represent, or I don't even think we know fully what actually went on because the Chinese do not allow dual citizenship. So did you give yours up? I don't think she had to. I think they just said, we'll let that slide. Because she's on every magazine. She sells every product. She is super duper popular in China. Extremely popular.
Okay.
Nikki Haley doesn't like any of this. Of course.
Okay.
Well, it's what the girl says too that baits me. It's so, the children are way smarter when it comes to branding themselves, selling themselves, they know every social media platform. Mm-hmm. They have an amazing ability to, even at 15 or 16, they already know how to do all this, not just operate the sites, but how to use them to make money. Right. Former ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley slammed American-born skier Eileen Gu for choosing to represent China instead of the United States. But I think she did represent the U.S. in a couple of them. But even if she didn't, there's all kinds of people. Like there's not a bunch, but I read of like 3 Irish people that are from America, but they had grandparents that, but usually it's if you don't think you can make your team here, the American team, go to some tiny country, and represent them if you have grandparents that are whatever country it is. She said you're standing for freedom or you're standing for human rights abuses. Okay, well, then are we going to talk about every single thing in this country that's made in China? Right. All of Ivanka's Trump shoes, they're made in China. Right. So should she not do that? Nobody seems to have a problem when they're doing business bullshit. Correct. We're all waiting on chips for new cars that never came. This is where I like. There is something sometimes where the children say shit and you think, oh my God, I would have got smacked in the face for saying that. But on the other hand, I think this is who they are and you got to roll with it. The 50-year-old former South Carolina governor added that there's no in-between when it comes to choosing certain countries. Her comments were made during an interview in Real Clear Politics. Gu, 18, is a U.S.-born Olympics and currently a member of China's 2022 Olympic team in Beijing. She was eligible to represent both countries, but chose her mother's homeland. Now, here's the other thing. Her mom's Chinese. Not everybody in China is bad. Right. The people, it's the government. It's not the actual people. Maybe this could help. Be nice.
Sure.
In terms of citizenship, look, China or the U.S., you've got to pick a side, period. That's where the old people, Nikki, you don't realize the children don't feel that way. No, they don't. There's no border on Instagram. Nope. There's no country. There's no borders on TikTok.
It's not going to happen.
And what are we all supposed to not use TikTok? That's Chinese.
Right.
You've got to pick a side. You're either American or you're Chinese. And they are 2 very different countries. Thank you, Nikki. Mm-hmm. Every athlete needs to know when they put their flag on, you're standing for freedom or human rights. There's no in between. She was raised in San Francisco, the girl. She's faced backlash from U.S. media for siding with China in the games amid the country's horrific treatment of the Chinese. I can't say it. It's a Muslim minority in Xinjiang.
Try it.
See how I floated that out like I knew it?
Yeah.
It's an autonomous territory there. So there's human rights abuses. Of course there is. We know that. But see, now I know about it. I didn't even know about it. And why do I know about it? Because of Eileen.
Wow.
Right? You got to look at that. She's getting the word out. There's a picture of her mom. She's really cute.
Come on, Eileen.
Haley referred to the human rights abuses that the minority community, can say continually faces, saying she's having a hard time for those who are in prison due to their difference in religion. I can't get the images out of my head of people on their knees blindfolded knowing what's about to happen to them, and I can't imagine in any way supporting that up or propping up China. Everything in TJ Maxx is from China. Like, who? Right. So you're telling this girl she can't? I mean, I'd probably stay with the United States just because, but she's also bringing a lot of light to it.
You're arguing against yourself.
I know. At some point, we need to understand it's time to move on from China. Really, Nikki? We saw how that went. We saw with the supply chain. Okay. Gu, she's won a gold medal in freestyle and a silver medal in the women's slopestyle, has constantly avoided questions about her citizenship and whether she has renounced her United States citizenship to compete for China. I don't think she did. I think she never got the Chinese one.
Right.
And they're just letting her do it.
Yeah.
Because
they'll
win. Yeah, she's cute. They put her on magazines, whatever. China does not allow dual nationality, and Gu would not confirm whether she held both passports. So, here comes the children. So, I grew up 30% of my time in China. I'm fluent in Mandarin and English, and currently fluent in both, she answered when she asked if she was still American citizen. So coming here, I really feel like a sense of coming home, and I feel just as American as Chinese. I don't feel like I'm taking advantage of one or the other. They understand my mission is to foster a connection between countries and not a divisive force.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
When the reporter asked again about the citizenship, she said, "Next question, please." But wait, it gets better. This is such great. She's a fashion model, and she's going to be going to Stanford. Incoming Stanford University student. Wow. Following her wealth has ballooned to almost $3 million from just under $2 million on Monday. She feels at home at China. This is what she told her critics. Okay? This is where I like the children. I'm not trying to keep anyone happy. I'm an 18-year-old girl living my life and trying to have a great time. And you are ruining it. Okay? All these stupid hard questions. What do you care? I'm enjoying the entire process, and I'm using my voice to create as much positive change as I can for the voices who will listen to me in an area that is personal and relevant to myself. Okay. I know I have a good heart, and I know my reasons for making the decisions I do are based on a greater common interest in something I feel is greater for the greater good. If other people really don't believe that, well, then that just reflects that they do not have empathy. To empathize with a good heart, perhaps because they don't share the same kind of morals I do. And in that sense, totally. I'm not going to waste my time trying to placate people who are, one, uneducated, and two, probably never going to experience the kind of joy and gratitude and love that I have the great fortune of experience on a daily basis. She said her critics did not share the empathy she had and that she refused to bow down to them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This shows you Nikki Haley doesn't know anybody of this age, because I could have told you this is what this girl would say. And some of it's right, and some of it may not be right, but totally. They make up their minds, and that's that. And if you don't go, are you trying to wreck my good time, Paddles? Is that what you're doing? I'm trying to have a good time here and drink a Bud Light next, and some Old Bay Bloody Marys. Okay. She's not the only American competing for China in Beijing. 2 members of the Chinese hockey team. Yeah, Jake Chelios, son of hockey Hall of Famer Chris Chelios. Yep. They were also born and raised in the United States. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite line. I'm not trying to keep anyone happy. I'm an 18-year-old girl living my life and trying to have a great time. Okay? God damn. I am so cute I can't even stand it. And all you keep doing is bringing up negative things. Like, just shut up. I don't know. The kid's got a plan. Good for her. A lot of people don't have a plan. I still don't have a plan. She's way ahead of me. Speaking of China, and speaking of Donald Trump, Melania last week, I will give the Trumps credit. They are really good at merch. Yeah. And I'm not. I did make some more Pubcast t-shirts, though, because those sold out too, the black and pink ones. So now I have another order coming. Then somebody had a coffee mug idea. I think that's a good idea. Okay. Everybody likes it's got to be a good one, though. I don't want the run-of-the-mill ones because I never use them. You like premium everything. I like a fancy coffee cup. Mm-hmm. Not fancy, but sturdy. So the whole Trump family is very good at merch. Mm-hmm. I don't know that we've ever had a president like that had that much merch. And nobody seems to even care. The Make America Great thing was Ronald Reagan's slogan. Right. Everybody just went, he stole it and put it on a hat. I guess Reagan didn't put it on a hat. Shoulda. But this is where they just go into a realm of shit. I don't even know why you would do this. So Melania created an NFT. Okay. Non-fungible token. We know what this is, right? Digital art, basically.
I only know because I listen to the podcast.
Right. The source for the funds for the winning bid in Melania Trump's first NFT auction appears to be Melania Trump. She bought her own NFT. I'm going to start doing that and then say that I did it. What are you trying to do here? No. Have a write-off? A series of blockchain transactions show that the cryptocurrency used to purchase Trump's non-fungible token came from a wallet that belongs to the entity that originally listed the project. The former First Lady began an auction in January for a collection of NFTs on the Solana blockchain with art from her first official state visit in 2018. There's one with her. She got that hat on. People liked. I don't know. They listed the winner of the auction on the website along with the bid history that shows the NFT sold for $1,800 SOL, worth about $185,000 3 weeks ago. The collection, titled Head of State, is one of the many planned auctions Trump said she would release at regular intervals during her announced launch of her NFT venture in December. And then they go into how they tracked it all. It's very complicated and boring, so I won't make your head hurt their paddles. But I mean, was she bidding against herself and like in an auction where you're not supposed to do that?
I have no idea.
I don't either. This has got to be a weird household.
We need more info.
This one, I swear to God, I don't know how every flight attendant in the United States hasn't murdered at least one person. So shout out. Everybody knows Delta's my favorite. Southwest for short flights. American, I will shout out. Well, I had to fly home on United. Lewis said they've gotten better, and I thought it was very nice. But Delta's always my favorite. But to all of the flight attendants, which I would have been with you had I been 5'2". I was too short to be a flight attendant. So,
you want to be a flight attendant?
Yeah, I even flew to. That's how old I am. I flew to Miami to interview with Pan Am.
Shut up.
Yeah. Wow. Mm-hmm. And then I made it through like 3 interviews. I didn't know we were going to get to this height, weight bullshit. I was the right weight, but you had to be 5'2". And then
like
one of my super gay guy friends, he goes, "You didn't put lifts in your shoes?" I go, "Who would think of that? I'm not Prince." No, I did not think to put lifts in my shoes. And I got cut off at the pass. Oh. Yeah, but that means Stevie couldn't have done it. Yeah. Dolly couldn't have done it. I can't do it. I don't know if they still have those height and weight things, but anyway, I ended up being a comedian instead, so at least I fly as much as a flight attendant. It's just I'm not working.
You're a regular on some planes.
I am a regular on. I got on one Delta flight, and the guy already had a 420 Sweetwater, that beer. It was sitting in my seat with the cup over it, and I thought, oh, somebody forgot to pick up the trash from the last flight. And then he was like, "Miss Madigan." It's like, oh my God, you're awesome. This is so. Then I thought, wow, is this a drinking problem when random flight attendants? I saw your name on the thing. Good to see you again. It was out of Atlanta.
Happy Saturday.
Yeah. I was in just one Sweetwater beer. It's thick, but one is great. A 420. Mm-hmm. This is where. This is just unfucking believable. An American Airlines flight attendant hit a, quote, unruly passenger in the head with a coffee pot as he tried to open the plane's exit door. Now,
oh my God.
American is also the ones that have been duct taping the bad people to their chairs and duct tape. But this is what's so crazy to me. The funny part is that like they always act like we're flying and it's very serious, and when we reach 36,000 feet, we're going to turn off the thing if we don't have any turbulence. It all sounds very on board, like serious, which it's supposed to be. I get it, but then when it comes to, hey, there's a nut job up by the bathroom, it's like a goddamn cartoon. Somebody whacks him in the head with a coffee pot. Like, what kind of ridiculous ass cartoon are we in? Can you imagine if you're in training? Now, here's the thing. All you guys that want to be flight attendants, when people get unruly, we don't have a plan. Whatever object is nearest to you, pick it up and bash them over the head. Like, none of this sounds legitimate. And you would think during COVID, I used to think that there was what are those undercover cops called on planes?
Air marshals.
Air marshals, right. Because you here's a little something I didn't know until I started traveling all these years. If you want to know who the air marshal is, if you're very, very, have a keen eye, they let them on way before everybody else. It's usually a man, and he has a little weird briefcase. Now, you would think during COVID, because people are fighting and acting like complete lunatics, because somebody told me there's really only like one air marshal on every 7th flight. They don't all have one. I thought we all had one. We do not.
No.
But you think that during COVID they would have come up with plans, like we need a little more security. Because I've always said we are at 36,000 feet. I've never seen anybody get cut off from drinking, and I've seen people go crazy drinking, especially the Vegas flights or somewhere fun, Nashville. I saw a girl get off a bachelorette party, and she was so hammered she fell down the escalator into the baggage claim area. Got up though, still had her pink hat on. It's just shit-faced. Then her bag, her big old piece of giant suitcase, one of those hard ones, it's like a crazy color. She literally dove on it, on the belt, and started going around. And I wanted her to go through the car wash part because I wanted to see if she would come back around. But one of her girlfriends was like, "Oh my God, Mindy!" and grabbed her off. So there's so much drinking on flights. Now, back in the day when I would work at a comedy club, we always had 2 bouncers, and basically there's 300 people in there. There's a lot of drinking, but we have 2 bouncers. We are in an airplane at 36,000 feet, and whoever wants to is drinking, and we don't have a bouncer. True. That would not happen on Earth. Why is it okay to happen in the sky? Right. It's crazy to me. And then there are flight attendants that are basically my size, say 5'2". I can't do nothing to a Ron White. He's 235 pounds. Like, what do you want me to do? Kick him? I don't have a weapon. So I guess I just think it's funny that they, at some point you may have to listen to what this guy did too. Oh my God. Right. I think we need a jail in the back. I do. I think we need a tiny jail.
And a death penalty.
You give this guy the death.
No.
Law enforcement was requested to meet this flight upon its arrival. We're grateful to our crew members who are consistently dedicated to the safety and care of our customers, who handled the circumstances with the utmost skill and professionalism. Bashing somebody on the head with a coffee pot doesn't seem that thought through to me.
I agree.
I'm not saying they shouldn't have done it, but I don't understand why nobody's helping them with better plans than, I don't know, Sally, grab whatever you can, bash him on the head. I couldn't even reach Ron's head. No. Maybe that's why I'm 5'2".
Right.
Kansas City Aviation Department spokesman Joe McBride told CNN there was a passenger interfering with the flight crew, and adding that the incident will be under the jurisdiction of the FBI. The FBI confirmed the incident to his statement to CNN, and the individual in question had already been taken into custody. The passenger, a 50-year-old man, had been charged with 1 count of assaulting and intimidating a flight attendant, and thereby interfering in the performance of the flight attendant's duties. The man will remain in federal custody until a detention hearing is scheduled. This is what he did. Oh my God! He's 6'3", 240. It's Ron. It wasn't really Ron White, but I mean, it's the same.
Same build.
Yeah. Now, I don't even think, there's a lot of flight attendant guys that are 5'8". Like, what are you supposed to do? They need tasers. I hate to say it. They do.
Not a coffee.
Or how about lassos? Everybody just snap them in like a little calf.
They got duct tape.
Well, the duct tape's ridiculous, too. Imagine me trying to duct tape Ron.
Yeah.
I mean, no. The coffee pot's a better idea, but I can't reach his head.
Okay.
The man who's 6'3", 240 pounds, told flight attendants people were attempting to hurt him, and they followed him on the plane. The man went on to tell the flight attendants he heard individuals harming his family over the telephone. When asked what the individuals looked like, the passengers told the flight attendants one was sitting next to him on the plane and another had a knife. This guy sounds schizophrenic.
Yeah.
I mean, he's mentally ill, yeah. The flight attendant took the man's phone and saw that he tried to call 911, but he couldn't get through. Minutes after being seated, the man asked for a cup of water and then walked into the cockpit area of the plane and told the flight attendants that they were not flying and that the flight attendants were lying to him. A flight attendant used a beverage cart to create distance between her and the passenger. So now she's got the cart like, stay back, Parker. Like, you can't,
Right.
Using that. The man then grabbed some plastic silverware, removed the napkin around it, and placed the silverware in his shirt sleeve, holding it like a shank. The flight attendant told investigators he felt threatened by the knife. The man then grabbed a small champagne bottle by the neck. Who's got champagne? This must have been an international flight. There's not even champagne on short flights anymore.
No.
Or they're not offering. If they do have it, they're sneaking it for themselves. The man then grabbed a champagne bottle by the neck of the bottle and attempted to break the bottle on the counter. He began kicking and shoving the service cart into one of the flight attendants. Holy shit. The man then attempted to open the plane's exit door. A flight attendant grabbed a coffee pot and hit the man twice in the head with it. Several passengers came forward to assist the flight attendants. One of those passengers was a police officer who pulled the man away from the door. The other passenger punched the man in the jaw, and another one grabbed him by the neck and pulled him to the floor. Flight attendants investigators they did not serve the man any alcohol during the flight. Muaz Mustafa, a resident of D.C., was aboard the flight, and when it landed, he told the whole story to those people. It's been a bad year for unruly passengers. Yeah, 5,981 reported cases of unruly passengers. Yeah, and 72% of them were mask-related. That's why you got to help these guys out. Yeah. Plus, I don't want to have to get involved. Like somebody had to go up there and punch him in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, an ex-cop might be a little better at all that. I mean, this is funny. People, I just can't. I can't get over people sometimes. That's why I like this podcast. Just to Florida woman used her PPP money to pay a hitman.
Come on.
You know,
Come on.
I've heard of a lot of uses, people going out and buying jewelry and cars and all the wrong things, but I haven't heard this one yet. The Paycheck Protection Program is intended to help businesses meet their payroll during the pandemic, but scores of people have faced charges that they used the federal loan money on extravagances like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, jewelry, and lavish vacations. Now, the authorities in Miami say a woman there went to another extreme, using part of her $15,000 PPP loan, she got $15,000, to pay a hitman. The woman, Jasmine Martinez, 33 years old, received the loan on April 20th, 2021, 2 weeks before a man wearing a black hooded sweatshirt shot LaShante Jones to death as she walked to her apartment with her 3-year-old daughter. The Miami-Dade Department said, Miss Martinez, the one accused of hiring said hitman, made withdrawals from her bank account totaling more than $10,000 in 2 days. Before the killing, the police arrested Mrs. Martinez and Ramiel Robinson, a man Ms. Martinez was in a romantic relationship with, on first-degree charges of murder and conspiracy to commit the killing of Ms. Jones, a TSA employee at the Miami airport. They said that they also announced the arrest of Javon Carter, an ex-convict who they believed to be the hitman. Mr. Carter was charged with first-degree murder and attempted The police found a video on Mr. Carter's cell phone taken 2 hours after Ms. Jones' killing, in which he was counting a large sum of money, saying, "Just another day at the office." This snitching on yourself, filming yourself, posting yourself, people, I don't want the criminals to win, but if you're going to do it, don't snitch on. Oh, God. The police believe the shooting was a culmination of a long fight between the two women. She denies any involvement. They have all kinds of proof. But also, a 14-year-old girl in Louisiana, I read this, I didn't print it out, because was arrested for using the Rent-A-Hitman website.
A 14-year-old?
14-year-old. Now her lawyer's saying, look, she doesn't even have $1, more or less, whatever it costs to hire the hitman.
Her math teacher.
Her boyfriend.
What?
Yeah, she wanted to kill her boyfriend. Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow.
I am trying to have a great time. Okay? God. All right.
Civil girl.
This is kind of an update. I should have put this in updates. Update. Virgin Galactic launches sales for $450,000 space flight. Want to go to space?
No.
$500,000. Because I bet that doesn't include, taxes and stuff.
Wow.
Yep, this is your chance.
That's ridiculous.
Well, at least they're making it available to. You don't have to be a billionaire. I mean, I don't have this, but there's people that do.
True.
That could afford it. Mm-hmm. Seinfeld could go right now.
Ron?
Take the whole family.
Yeah, take the family. Go. Have fun.
Ron could go.
Ron could go.
After teasing travelers as they would have the chance to book a trip into space, the day is finally here. Richard Branson's aerospace travel company Virgin Galactic will start selling tickets for space flights tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Anybody? Termites? Space termites?
Nope. Space termites.
To some people, this would be the greatest thing ever. To me, it would be terrifying. I have no desire to leave our orbit or whatever you're doing. Yeah, I'm not into it. It's a journey that can be yours starting in the last quarter of this year. In a new release about the news, Virgin Galactic CEO Michael So-and-so said that the company plans to have its first 1,000 customers on a commercial service later this year. This is a solid start. He will provide an incredibly strong foundation as we begin regular operations and scale our fleet. Okay. I will give Richard Branson props. I think, well, compared to all these other jackasses, Bezos and Zuckerberg and stuff, he seems like a lot of fun. I love his airline. Just checking in, it feels like you should have shots and cocktails. Everything's blinking and it's fun and the music's good and it's beautiful. It's all red and white. He just comes up with fun shit. That's like in Virgin, the flights on Virgin are normal price. Not the spaceship. I mean, their airline. I don't know. He just seems like a fun guy. I did not realize how old he was. He's getting old. He's like 70-something. They will launch space flights from Spaceport America in New Mexico. Huh. So here's the thing. You're going to get charged $450,000 to get on this little space flight, but you're going to have to spend about $238 on Southwest to get to New Mexico. Okay? Before they take off in the 6-person rocket. However, would-be astronauts will spend a few days getting ready for the main event with what the company describes as a space preparedness activities and astronaut-specific training programs. No. See, I don't want to do any of that. Nope. They can bring 3 guests with them for this initial part of the trip, and they will enjoy luxury accommodations as they gear up for the big day. Right. Where is this in New Mexico? Giggle that, Paddles, will you?
What's it called?
Spaceport America in New Mexico. Where in New Mexico? How am I supposed to believe there's luxury accommodations if you're way out in the middle of the desert doing weird shit?
It's in the middle of a field.
Right.
Yeah.
What city is it near?
Hang on.
Your space flight, how long do you think you're going to be gone?
I'm sure there's a private airport. Because if you're...
A private airport? Yeah, but what about, I'm talking about a luxury hotel. They're out in the middle of the desert.
Where is Spaceport America?
What if you get there
west of the U.S. Army White Sands Missile Range in Sierra County. 55 miles north of Las Cruces.
Yeah.
Yep.
I need to know about that hotel before I commit to this.
The hotel. That's what you're worried about?
Well, he's saying luxury accommodations. I don't know how they would exist out there. So maybe he's going to put you in some city, house or something. Albuquerque. Here's how long your flight is. It's 90 minutes, and it includes an air launch and a Mach 3 ride over 300,000 feet above the Earth. Spaceship 2, as their rocket is called, can accommodate 4 guests and 2 crew members. What trip to space is complete without floating in the air? I still haven't heard if there's drinks being served.
I don't know.
Why is it that in the top? It's an hour and a half. You'll experience out-of-seat weightlessness for several minutes as the spaceship flips and can savor views of the Earth from its 17 windows. Reservations for this once-in-a-lifetime journey require a $150,000 deposit, but you can get most of your money back if you decide not to go. Virgin Galactic keeps a $25,000 future astronaut community access fee. So you get some of your deposit back, but not $25,000 if you chicken out. Nope. Currently, according to a company spokesperson, there are about 700 people have signed up. Travelers who join them will get a confirmation of their trip in the way of an astronaut number as soon as they pay their deposits. Oh. I like it. I don't want to go, but I want an astronaut number, right? Wouldn't that get a T-shirt with your astronaut number on it? That'd be fun. The total price includes membership into Virgin Galactic's future astronaut community, special events with Sir Richard Branson, and extensive videos and pictures from their trip. They debuted a new logo and website to coincide with the launch of the sales. Both feature an indigo color palette that's inspired by the last visible color of the Earth's atmosphere before entering space. No desire. No. I would so much rather go visit the Clydesdales. I mean, seriously. Like, do you want to go into space, or do you want to see a baby Clydesdale down in the middle of Missouri at the farm? Yeah, I want to go see that. That's what I want.
Whales and cocktails anywhere.
Huh?
Whales and cocktails.
Whales and cocktails, right. Now, here's another little something I'm just going to throw out there because I can't believe people will do this. I'm also laughing my ass off. Well, I shouldn't be laughing, but I am. That Peloton's firing tons of people, but they're employees, but they're gonna give them a year membership to Peloton.
Oh my God!
Like, I want to be reminded every goddamn day that you've let me go and I don't have a job. Here's a new cruise thing for you. Okay. Silver Seas Lux new cruise will sail you all the way around South America in 71 days.
Oh wow!
No. I don't even want to be on one for one day. More or less 71. Plus, you are kind of, I haven't been on one since like 2012, I think it was, but you're really out of touch. Yeah. Like the internet bullshit, not at least 10 years ago, it did not really work. Right. Like, you'd have to go to the stupid cafe, whatever their internet room was, and sit there for hours just to get something going. You're just very disconnected. Now, I'm sure a lot of people, that appeals to them, but you'll visit 20 countries on a 79, that's a European one. All the way around. And it's, you'll have stops in Lima, Buenos Aires. I just can't imagine. Yeah, I was looking for the price. I saw, it's $48,000.
Oh my God. Wow. Nope.
This includes round trip premium airfare. Wow. You got to go to their website for more details, but $48,400 per person.
No. Wow.
Yeah. You got to really want to cruise.
Yeah, you do.
Speaking of Missouri, because I was just speaking about it a second ago, a termite sent me this. I had no idea. And Springfield, Missouri, has a wonderful hospital there because my mom 100 years ago had breast cancer. We had to go there every day for 6 weeks in a row for her radiation. And then we got to really know Springfield because I don't really know Springfield, Missouri. Well, I do now, but I didn't so much back then. How did I never hear about this? There's 400,000 square feet of Velveeta cheese buried deep within the earth in Springfield, Missouri.
Shut up.
Yeah. It's Kraft's massive underground cheese cave, and here's a photo of it. We're hoarding the cheese. If shit goes down. Wow. Since 2008, Kraft Foods has rented 400,000 square feet of the repurposed limestone mine as a massive distribution center from which to ship 680-pound Velveeta bright barrels of Oscar Mayer meats, Philadelphia cream cheese. Maybe that's why there's a shortage. Maybe we ran out in the cave in Missouri. Oh, nobody's got cream cheese anywhere anymore. No. Even in Florida, my mom and dad were saying no.
She's mad about that.
My mom's really pissed. I know. I'm like, what are you doing every day with cream cheese? It's a little kind of overreaction.
It's delicious.
Velveeta pasteurized processed cheeses, Jell-O, and Lunchables. We're feeding the children the little Lunchables. Unlike traditional cheese caves, which can impart the particular flavors of time and place, the unique combinations of bacteria, yeast, and mold that the cheesemakers called Terrier, Wired magazines, it explains that in the case of this cave, it's not about aging, it's about cheap storage. Moving refrigeration underground saves massive amounts of energy since the temperature 100 feet down is a constant 58 degrees because it's cold.
Wow.
Yeah. I had no idea. I wonder if you can tour it. It's called Springfield Underground. We're down here. 3.2 million square feet of leasable space from exposure to the outdoor elements. So it's like the ultimate storage unit. Yeah. I had no idea. It has over 3 miles of lit roadway down there, 3 miles of rail siding, clear ceiling height up to 30 feet, immediate access to Highway 44 and Highway US 65.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just crazy. I'm going to go there. Even if they won't let me in, I'm going to go outside and make a video.
Remember
from the cheese cave.
Remember the video, the Miller...
the Miller Caves in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
If you ever go tour the Miller brewery,
super
there's
cool.
something else I read on here. I screenshot it. Let me see. Whoops. It's a 2 million square foot refrigerated warehouse. 2 million square feet. So you wonder what 4-year Velveeta is coming from, people.
Right.
And your Jell-O and your Lunchables.
Underground.
Missouri. Peloton. Let's just talk about this for a minute. They're such douchebags. I don't have one. I have a treadmill and a rower, but I don't have a Peloton, mainly because I don't want someone screaming at me. I don't want someone to motivating me. I don't like those people. I don't, come on, you can do it. Fuck off. But I could see, I've been in some gyms in hotels like Westin's. They have these ones where you can take a walk and you could hit like Italy or Ireland or whatever. But it's really weird because they have other people walking on your path too. And people will come at me and I'm like, do I feel safe? So it's like what if this fucking guy, there's one white guy, he looked like a total serial killer. And I'm like, I get him off my path. I don't like other people being on my path in a video. I can't control it. I don't like it. Peloton is firing 2,800 employees and it's giving them a free 1-year subscription on the way out.
It's ridiculous.
They're restructuring everything because now the gyms are opening back up and nobody's buying the things.
They're so expensive.
How much, see how much one is.
Okay.
I think they're like $4,800 or something. Peloton's firing over 28 employees, including 20% of its corporate staff. The severance package for those fires includes a 1-year Peloton membership. No. You know what I would do? I would take a bat and film myself destroying it and then let that go viral. Wow. The CEO is stepping down after a challenging quarter and a slow demand for the product.
$1,500 for the shitty one.
$1,500 for the shitty one?
Yep, and $45 a month.
$45 a month?
Yeah, for the...
Haven't the children figured out how to steal that yet?
They will.
They will. Yeah, that's why we love the children.
They have financing.
The young people. Financing? Oh my God.
Shut up.
Wow. Wow. The Peloton monthly membership will be complimentary for impacted team members for an additional 12 months. That's in addition to a meaningful cash severance allotment. I'll take the cash, thank you. That's determined based on job level and tenure. The CEO is stepping down, and what?
The treadmill's $2,600.
The treadmill's $2,600.
Yeah. But you get a free water bottle.
Free water bottle. God.
Oh my God.
In the past few months, Peloton's seen a major downturn after home fitness products spike in popularity during the height of the coronavirus pandemic. With gyms reopening and as vaccines rates increase, Peloton's business took a huge hit. The company's market value has dropped from $50 billion down to $9 billion. Well, it didn't help that their commercials were douchebaggy. Yeah. Like somebody has this beautiful. First of all, who would have a beautiful New York apartment with the wonderful views of the city when you have an exercise bike in your family room? Right. Stop it. No. Like, oh, my Aspen Chalet, you know what it's missing? An exercise bike in the middle of the family room. That's what's missing. And the people, They expect further sales decreases in coming quarters as the at-home fitness market continues to contract to pre-pandemic level. Yeah, you had your day in the sun. You should have just went, oh, hey, this is a great extra money, but you can't count on it. No. Man, I don't understand how some of these people are still in business. Now, I'm going to, we'll close this out with a quote, but I'm going to close this out with a little story that is seriously unbelievable, and I actually know the person. Yep. Most every comedian my age, well, I'd say between 35 and up. Okay. Maybe you have to be about 40, maybe. There's a man, and his name is Byron Allen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He is a media mogul and former comedian. He is bidding to buy the Denver Broncos.
No way.
Now, what is even more shocking to me, and I found this out a while back, is that Byron Allen owns my favorite channel, the Weather Channel.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's the most underrated business person that's ever come out of stand-up comedy. I can't think of anybody else who has come even close to what this man has done. And he used to host a show called Comics Unleashed. And if you go, I'm sure somewhere on the internet, my episodes are on there. I did it a ton of times. And we all really liked Byron, but we didn't really understand. Like, we would go, do you think he's funny? And we would have these little, I'm like, well,
super smart.
He's pleasant, he's very pleasant. And he would just, you would have to submit like 5 things. Like, Kathleen, what do you want to talk about? Ask me about the Olympics. Mm-hmm. And then, but he wasn't even that good of a host. Like, he's handsome and he's nice, but then he was a little stiff. Like, he would go, so Kathleen, I have heard that you enjoy the Olympics. Like, well, that wasn't very, but then he would laugh and then he'd get kind of comfortable, but he was the nicest man. But like, people, I think he's probably 10 years older than me. People my age were like, what's this guy's deal?
He was born April 22nd, 1961.
61? He's only 4 years older than me.
He's born in Detroit.
Well, he started comedy when he was like 18. He was on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. I know that because I saw it. It was fine. But this is what's so amazing about this man. Like, I don't know why the entertainer turned CEO confirmed he's moving to buy the Denver Broncos. Let's explore his path to being selected by Roger Goodell for the chance to become the NFL's first black majority owner. How great would that be if he was a comedian?
Yeah.
So great. And such a nice human. Like, it was just funny. All of us comedians would be like, how did he get this job? Right? Like, do you think he's funny? We're like, I don't know. He's pleasant enough to be a host. He's a happy guy. Several NFL fans across the country asked themselves and Google this exact question following Allen's confirmation to Bloomberg that he was submitting a formal bid to purchase the Denver Broncos. The entrepreneur and philanthropist got his start as a comedian, but in 1993 he launched his own media company and amassed an enormous fortune along the way. Comics Unleashed, the show I'm talking about, which isn't on anymore, but it was syndicated. And there's a ton of money in syndication half of the time laying there on the table, and nobody goes and gets it. Right. And so Comics Unleashed, that's why people would go, why is it on at 2 a.m? And then some cities it was on 11. Because people, you buy it, if you don't really understand, syndicated for TV programs, you just buy extra stuff when you don't have nothing to put on, and so it's filler stuff. A lot of shows are syndicated, but he then opened this media company because I knew he owned Comics Unleashed. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know all the rest of it. His net worth, he has an estimated $450 million. Oh, and then it says he even owns the Weather Channel. Yes, I know that. In a formal statement, Allen indicated that the road to this opportunity began in 2019 when he was approached by NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft about potentially buying into the league. Now, he's the apparent frontrunner to claim a majority stake in a Broncos franchise that's won 3 Super Bowl championships. Then I would have to be a Broncos fan. Yeah. I can't really leave my Kansas City Chiefs, but technically I'm from St. Louis, so, Well, if a comedian owns a team. Just last week, the Bolin family confirmed longtime speculation that they would put the team up for sale following a 38-year ownership run, and the sale will come at a historic cost. Early estimates suggest that the franchise will fetch about $4 billion.
Wow.
Do you want to own the Broncos?
No.
You can. You can't, Battles. I can't either. It would be the most expensive purchase in U.S. sports history by a seriously wide margin.
I don't even want to cheer for the Broncos.
I would if Byron owns him. He's a very nice man. To see things through, Allen will have to come up 30% to the purchase price with no debt. Oh, God. A casual $12 billion. But he's only worth $450 million. Loans?
He's going to form a group.
Oh, he's just going to lead the group?
Yeah.
I got you. How did Allen make so much money in the first place? He was born in Detroit, but spent the majority of his youth in L.A. His mother worked as a publicist at NBC Studios, and while accompanying her to work, he was bitten by the fame bug. By age 14, he had assembled a tight 5 minutes and started putting it in work at various comedy clubs around the city. His act caught the attention of celebrated sitcom actor and comedian Jimmy Walker. Jimmy Dynamite.
Oh, my God.
I worked with him back in the day, wow. Yeah, Jimmy Walker invited the young Allen to join his writing team, which included a few promising young stars by the name of Jay Leno and David Letterman. His career took off, and Allen made his first appearance on The Tonight Show at the age of 18. I watched that set. It's fine. For what it was. It's back in the day. The one joke I was surprised they let him do was a joke about pot, and I would have thought that Carson would have flipped the shit out back then, but I guess not. His charismatic pull caught the eye of television exec, and he landed his first gig as a presenter on the early NBC reality series Real People. Oh, yeah. Remember that show?
Yep.
He's an excellent host. He went on to get his own show, 1992, Kicking It with Byron Allen, which lasted 21 seasons. I do not remember that, but I was in school. Sure, I don't know. It's an enviable tenure in the fickle world of Hollywood. In 1993, he started Entertainment Studios, a global media company, which has then been renamed Allen Media Group. By 2018, they boasted over $1 billion worth of holdings, a number that it has increased with subsequent key acquisitions. Under its umbrella, he'd host multiple talk format shows, including Entertainers with Byron Allen, 1993 to present. I don't know if I've ever seen that. And Comics Unleashed. Boom! This lady was on that a lot. 2006 to 2014. Wow. Yeah. Over the last 30 years, this is the shit he owns. I don't know why he doesn't get more attention. Like, why isn't he on more stuff, like speaking as a business person? He owns 36 ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, and network affiliates in 21 markets. 21 regional sports networks, acquired in a partnership with Sinclair Broadcasting from Walt Disney Fox in a deal worth $10.6 billion.
Including Fox Sports.
Yep. In the wake of the Weather Channel deal and his acquisition of Bayou Broadcast Company for $195 million, he was named to the Bloomberg 50, making him one of the most noteworthy people in the world of business, entertainment, finance, politics, and technology. He holds a number of upstart 24-hour streaming channels that include Pet TV, Justice Central TV, and Comedy.tv, and purchased a digital media brand, The Griot. More recently, he's the frontrunner for the $10 billion deal with Tenga that would lead to the acquisition of over 65 channels in 50 markets. And just last month, the company entered a deal with Google parent company Alphabet to help facilitate its transition to streaming. While his media assets are the foundation, here's some other crazy shit Byron owns. This is crazy. Like, when I sat there with him, I just thought he was another comic. I thought he was just like us. Like, I thought he was like just a host, and he's handsome and pleasant and, a very good host. Mm-hmm. And gosh, man, I had no idea I was sitting next to a guy. He owns a $27 million apartment on Manhattan Central Park West. He owns a $20 million chalet in Aspen, a $23 million estate in Maui, a sprawling home in Hollywood home for which he borrowed a reported $83 million for renovations.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just amazing. He's also, for his part, Allen has a history of leading racial discrimination lawsuits against large enterprises, including Comcast and McDonald's. Mm-hmm. If the bid's successful, he could be at the forefront of meaningful change at the executive ranks of the NFL as the first black majority owner. As Allen said in his statement, I strongly believe I can help positive changes throughout the league. All of this. Can Allen make history? The chance to buy the NFL is one of the most elusive in all of sports, but there's buzz behind this potential bid. Not bad for a stand-up comic.
That's fantastic.
I hope all stand-up comics listening to this just felt a little shittier about yourself. I sure do. God, how do you know to do all that? That's just like...
Great.
I didn't even understand what syndication meant or was, and then you learn about it as you go on, but I wouldn't have had the next thought of, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy some of that. And where'd you get the money to begin with? I don't... All right, let's finish this with a quote. Termites. This is author Dan Harris, quoted in The Atlantic.
Okay.
When you're unaware of that nattering inner voice, it owns you.
Oh, wow. I don't know.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's deep.
I don't like it.
Columnist Judith Martin. If you can't be kind, at least be vague. I like it. And you know, we're going to end this off on termites. I am trying to have a great time. Okay? Oh, the children. I must say they never, ever stop making me laugh. So good for them. I'm just out here trying to have a good time and enjoy my life. And you have to come in here and buzzkill and ask me what country I have a passport for? Who cares? Right. Who's Nikki Haley? I'm not voting for her if she ever runs. Is she running for something? What's her deal? All right, termites. Hitting the road, St. Louis, hometown. That'll be fun. We have I'm already getting texts about the after party from my cousins. Boom. That's all set.
Yeah, you gotta go to Stewart.
Yeah. And then I forget, Atlanta. There's so many cities coming up in the spring. Yes. And I moved to Alabama again. So if you're coming to Huntsville, it's now May 19th through 21 because I have to do the special in Denver, so we flip-flopped, and I'm not going to not do it. I promised I would do it.
Play a little golf. I'm
going to play a little golf. There's a friend of mine. He is a nice person down there, and at a really awesome Alabama golf course.
A little bit of barbecue.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about Huntsville, too. It's the home of Space Camp and NASA. And, you know, we put down there years ago a shitload of Nazis. And I'm not kidding. German Nazis, German scientists after World War II. That's why when you Google, it is so bizarre. I was doing it for Lewis because Lewis was coming down to the last time. I don't know what we were doing down there, but I Googled top 10 restaurants in Huntsville, Alabama, because Lou wanted to go somewhere decent. And the top 3 are German.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
It's sneaky. I'm not saying they're still there, but their grandkids might be. Mm-hmm. St. Louis, Charlottesville, Virginia Beach. Augusta, Georgia. Charleston. Love it. Atlanta. Always have fun there. Portland, Seattle, D.C., the Warner. Love it. Old Epic Grove. New York, Seattle. I'll be in the alley in that pub. New York. Yeah, Town Hall. That's a fun little gig there. Des Moines, Iowa City. Kansas City. My friend Johnny Dare, the radio guy there. Yeah, it's all going to be fun. Okay, termites. I hope it's getting warm where you're at. If not, be a hopeful termite. Stay thirsty, my friends. Be a thirsty termite. And
Bud Light next. Boom.
What?
Bud Light next.
Bud Light next. Cheers. That's a summer winner. That's going to be a big hit in the summer. I don't know if it's a full year-round drink for this lady.
As you down it.
Well, I have to finish it.
True.
Show's over. You want to lick the bowl of the Catalina?
Nope.
You sure.
Sure.
I am trying to have a great time. God. This is why I love the kids, though. Yep. They don't care. They don't give a shit. The balls they have is just amazing to me. Like, if I was her age, 18 years old, and adults These journalists are way older than me, and seemingly then it seems like if they're 35, they're like 100. It might as well be 100, right? And if they ask me questions, I would get very, very nervous, and then I would just look at my dad or something and go, what am I supposed to say? But she conducts the whole thing herself. Here's what's going to happen, and here's how it and last thing, because sometimes I talk about sports too much, I think, but could we just talk for 1 minute about the Saudi golf league that they're trying to start? The bigger names that I've noticed have mostly said no. That would include Tiger and Rory. But the thing with golf is you have a limited pool of super talented people. Maybe it's like comedians. There's maybe 200, right? And you're going to now divide them and make 2 separate tours. And all I've seen sign up so far that have admitted it, because there's the whole blood money thing you might want to think about. Like, I wouldn't want to take the Saudis' money because I would be afraid then bad things would happen to me. Like, that's the Catholic. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I don't. And, like, people go, every country does bad things. Yeah, but I don't know about them. Like, I know they chopped that man up. They Dextered that guy. Like, I don't need to. But some names I've heard floating around are Lee Westwood, Ian Poulter. Nothing wrong with those guys, but you're 45. Yeah. Nobody cares anymore. Phil is the one. Phil Mickelson, I feel like has always been a bit of a fraudster. Because he's cute and he smiles and he plays crazy golf and it's exciting, which it is, and he is cute and da-da-da-da-da. But I don't think Phil is the smartest rabbit in the hutch, because I watched Phil maybe 5-6 years ago go. He has a hat on that says KPMG, an accounting firm. He's sitting in California at a golf tournament in Torrey Pines, I believe, and was like, yeah, I just realized how high California taxes are. I think I'm going to have to leave. Every other golfer in the world lives in Orlando or Nevada. Why? Because of taxes. How did you just find that out and you have an accounting hat on? Like, those people should fire you and say, we can't. You just made us look like morons. But Phil and Greg Norman are pushing for it, the Saudi Golf League. But Rory said no. Tiger said no. Like,
too much money to be made here.
Well, for the older guys, meaning 45 and up, even 40 and up, I'd say, it could be one last money grab. Yeah, do you want their money?
Yeah, you want to go live over there?
No. You don't have to live there, ding dong.
Well, it's quite
you fly in and you fly out.
It's quite the commute.
It is a commute, but I'm sure they all have a jet, right? Ian Poulter have a jet? Sure he does. No, he doesn't. Of course. They have their sponsors pick them up. It's not like comedians. We don't have sponsors. No comedian in the world that I know of has a sponsor. I think people are too afraid of us. Byron Allen should sponsor me. Right, I'm going to find out. I'm going to go through some channels and find out how do I get to talk to Byron. And then I don't feel as bad about sometimes where I was like, I don't really know if this guy's that funny, right? I don't feel bad about that because he didn't care. He's so smart. That's why. He's smarter. Yeah. I get the funny, not the smarts. He got the smart. Great host. I remember real people. All right, termites. That's it. Ready? Night, termites.